Okay, I want to tell you what they're talking about. They suggested this, and I'm going to do it. They said that their technology closes the ear hole. So I was had a hard time putting my earrings in my second and third hole and my second hole. So what I did was I had two of these. I got this on eBay for such an inexpensive price. They just use cultured pearls and like silver tone, and you can get this. This is great for like coming up with weddings and prom and things like that. So they said, oh, they knew I was going to say that before. Of course, I said it in a different video that you can get some really cute things for events on eBay. And what I like to do, I think I said in a video, I'll link the video in the description, how you could start to bid on something. You go for free shipping and like the lowest price. Sometimes it could be start at a penny. So some eBay sellers will start their bidding off at like a penny with free shipping. And if you put in your maximum bid, how much you're willing to go up to, you can find some really good deals. Sometimes I'm in New York, so we have Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes auctions end at say 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and a lot of people don't bid during that time because that's still late even for Pacific Standard Time. So you can get really good deals that way. And I just want to show you that. I'm going to pause this and put this in the other hole. So what they were saying is their technology causes our air holes to swell and close. Now, I don't know why that would be the case, but they're upset. They said how much they hate me. They hate me, they said, because every time I do something that's helpful. I don't understand how telling you my life story is helpful when they said I shouldn't give advice. So what I'm doing is telling you my life story, things that I've done, things that worked for me. They said don't give advice, yet they said I'm helpful. So to me, again, their irrational way of speaking. I've done worries, thoughts, and now speaking. So before I go on to that, I just want to finish saying that they admitted that their technology closed the ear holes, and that's why sometimes people get those lumps on their ears, because what their technology is doing, I guess, is causing swelling, but also they said healing the ear hole so that they said, oh, I spent money to get my holes done, and then it would close, and then I would have to get them redone. So they said every so often there's a cycle with me where I put my earrings in my ear, but I know I did a video where I definitely put earrings in my ear. So again, sometimes what they're doing is just taking credit for things that I've done in the past, then giving it back to me. Then I'm supposed to say, oh, thank you, you're so wonderful. They said I was supposed to apologize to them for this. Why? So that's what I wanted to tell you in terms of just if you're going through this and you don't have an earring in your ears, just to check to make sure your holes are still open, because that's a horrible thing to go through, especially, I'm 51. A lot of us, I think, are older than like 30 something, and it would be hard to just get them reopened. So it's best, sometimes I'm not going to not listen to them when I think it makes sense. If they tell me it closes my ear, then I'm going to listen. So that's a suggestion I followed. I told you guys in the past, if they tell me something, I'll give them credit for what they tell me. So I'm giving them credit for that. I'm not going to thank them because their whole process of doing this was for me to thank them for my ideas. They said that's something I usually do. So again, they just stole my idea, but since they said it and it was a good idea because it was originally mine, I'll give them credit for it. The other thing is they said they hate me. They said they hate me because I come off like I'm helpful. But what I'm wondering about that is that there's two things I'm worrying about. That's the irrational way of the irrational way of speaking. I don't think it's that I'm helpful. I think it's that I'm giving tips, and that's a brand. There are people who make money giving tips, and they said they slowed my YouTube channel for some reason so that I could never make money off it. So me giving helpful tips is a brand. And that's just another way of them trying to destroy everything about me. They want to destroy the way I speak. They want to destroy the way I dress. They want to destroy the way I look. They want to destroy simple thing as my ear holes. It's just them trying to destroy me. And I think the reason that they resent me is because I know it. I see it. And, I've been linking in the description some movies where you can kind of see that whole thing on screen and see how it looks. it feels different when it's happening to you, but when you see it on screen, you recognize it. So this time I'm going to go over, I've been recently going over movies. So I'm going over the great Steve McQueen. They just said great too. He is great. Uh The Getaway and Bullitt. So in one scene, a guy, excuse me, The Getaway, Bullitt, and Thomas Crown Affair. So in one scene, you'll see a guy talking to Bullitt, and he dislikes him, and you'll see that scene. I'm also going to link the scene in The Getaway where Steve McQueen has a fight with Ally McGraw, and then they make up once they're in like a pile of trash at the dump, the landfill, the dump. And then another Steve McQueen movie, Thomas Crown Affair, where he's playing chess with Faye Dunaway. And I'll put all the links so that you guys can actually see how people will try to destroy you a little bit in life. And it's easier to see it that way and just not me telling you about it. So anyway, so going back to how this technology was meant to destroy, and that's what I'm going to title this, how predators destroy you. So destroying my ears, destroying my ability to give quick tips, destroying my ability to give advice. I mean, they have a new thing now where if I do one thing and it makes an exception, they say, well, I can never say I never did that thing. So they're really stretching this whole process of never. Like I said, I use an example. If someone, for example, doesn't drink milk, but in a hospital he has to take medicine to say to drink to with milk in order to take the medicine. Sometimes things are required. He can still say he never drinks milk. He didn't say he never has had milk. That's like saying, for example, someone who says, you know, I never jog. Well, didn't you run for the bus one time in kind of like a jogging pace? Then you could say you jog. No, you still never jog. So I think what they're getting confused with is have you ever done something and never doing something? It's completely different. But again, that was something that I gave to them as their V2K versus me. I'll give them that because I believe that there are exceptions that could still classify something as never being done. It doesn't mean you've never done it, but it does. You don't normally do it, so it's never. You never do it. The other thing about this is that when you're dealing with people who dislike you, you can tell, you can feel it. So they just said, "Oh, they don't like when I say that things that way." Again, their irrational way of speaking is clear in everything they say. For example, if I say I'm wearing blue, they'll say, well, technically that's not really a true blue. You would have to name it a certain type of blue. That's how they are. It instead of dealing with the larger issue, which is their resentment of me, they deal with picking at me, pick. So instead of acknowledging we resent